Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, ED, for setting the pace for me. It's exciting to be here once again. I was here yesterday in some other shoes, so today I'm here putting on other shoes today. Once again, I'm Joshua Isiko. I'm here to give you, I'll call it headlines of the results of the stakeholder engagement for the extension stakeholders in Uganda, which was held a few months ago. Before I give you the headlines, I'd want just to give you a brief description of what we call value chain analysis, because it's a methodology that we use to arrive at the findings that we are sharing today. Value chain analysis is derived from the word value and analyzing how value moves from one point to another. And the connotation here is that every extensionist is moving value, which we call knowledge, from one point to another. Before a technology becomes a technology, those people start with knowledge and turn it into a technology. But even that knowledge, that technology to reach you, it moves with knowledge along it. So we were trying to trace what is the origin of extensible knowledge and where does it end along the value chain. Who is doing what where? Who is killing the value and who is amplifying the value of knowledge? Because it is either that there is somebody killing the value of knowledge in Uganda, that we are not where we are, or we haven't discovered how to amplify this value and get the benefit out of it. So this process looks at which products along the journey are you going to create. It also looks at what activities are entailed in creating that value. You can even go as far as costing, how much it costs you to create a unit of that value product. And then you can understand the struggles and use the same kind of tool to understand what strategies you could best design. So for Uganda, this was the methodology. 26 to 27th of August 2024. That's about 3 months, I would say, 2 or 3 months. We had to bring about 50 stakeholders in the room. And those stakeholders were tasked with one big job: to follow the value along the extension system. The tools we used were pre-designed. You see me here putting on this chart. I also told you yesterday that I have just learned to work with the government as a support person. So in there, we've come up with tools that are very, very interesting to do value chain analysis. So they are pre-designed. We give you the tool and you use it to do the analysis. And the team of 50 was put into 5 groups. And each of them was given a task to think through using the tool which guides them. And when they finish, they would submit, present, and then we sit down and synthesize what they have given. And now repackage it as an output, which we'll share with you today in a summary. That work took about 16 hours. Since there were 5 groups, you would multiply that and get about 60 plus man hours. Because literally in work or in productivity, I look at man hours. So if I want to have a whole year in just a week, I get people who are equivalent to a whole year. And I'll have achieved a whole year in just 1 week. That's what we call man hours. This is one of the key results in those 2 days. We were trying to look at what are the different products you can sell in agriculture extension and make money. And this is a complex, we call it a value product complex of the agriculture extension system. So you have 16 extensible value products. The first one here is a research publication. Professor here in the university is a master of that. Every day they are churning out publications. Unfortunately, they even charge them to publish. That's what annoys me. You do a very good job to spend all your energy, the time and money, put together very good knowledge, and they ask you to pay to be published. You don't sell. You don't earn money. You see? How many dollars do they charge you? Can you imagine? So he's telling me that most of the high class, they call it ranked as high impact journals, charge you about $3,000 to put there one paper. Open access for free access, moreover. And some of them charge you, those who ask you to give, and they also charge us to use, maybe higher, because there are those whereby you cannot access that paper for free. Yes. Exactly. So he's telling me there's another model you may publish for free, but they eat money on your behalf, isn't it? So you give them what to sell, which is a very serious product, and they charge whoever is going to read it. Then they eat that money on your behalf. They don't give you even a shilling. What you have is just to keep using it in your profile and CV that you have 30 papers, 50 papers publication. So that's one key product. It's a very fundamental product in extension. All these technologies, I told you yesterday that I'm a developer of a feed analysis, feed formulation tool. I just go to internet and read people's publications about new inclusions and go to the back end and adjust the rules. And when you use it, you get the cheapest formula from my tool. The publisher has not even earned anything because I used knowledge. Then the second step value product is the extension profession training materials and information. And this, the number one that we do not sell, and yet it is very expensive and institutions do not pay attention to, is the curricula. The curricula is a package. If I am designing a curricula for extension, I need to get all the published extensible information and package it into a curricula to make this person be the game changer in the system. Now, unfortunately, because we do not look at it as a product, a university may never even sometimes budget for developing a curricula. They leave professor here to hustle on his own, somehow, sometimes. But I could even make money from training material. Me as a person, and package training booklets. They use textbooks. The textbooks you use are part of that. That's an extensive product at that step. When you are training an extension officer, you refer them to a particular manual or handbook or textbook with technologies. For us in VET, one of the most known extensible product at training is what we call the veterinary max manual. When you have it in your hand, you will treat every disease. So, but they are put just together different technologies of how you handle the different diseases, how you diagnose, and sell it expensively. You can't buy it peanut. It is in thousands of dollars. And you may find that the entire universe, like Makerere, may have only 3 or 4 copies because of the expensiveness. Then, from there, you realize that most of the material you found either there at the booth or what the farmers' media is disseminating, what you hear on the radio, what you watch on TV is falling in any of these other 14 extensible products. A fact sheet, sometimes you land on a brochure with small or high impact information about a technology. Videos. Right now, if you Google in a number of things, how do you do this, how do this? People have packaged videos on YouTube. People are conducting trainings. And some of you have attended or are conducting these. Those are extensive materials. So a training is a product. I will design a training of one day to teach you a certain kind of practice or technology. And then demo farm services. Most of you visit these farms and pay entrance fee. This is money, it's a product. All he's doing is organize demonstration units which are not producing to the minimum quantity for break even. But his money or her money is the entrance fee that you give them. It's not the number of kilograms of meat or number of eggs that they produce or amount of milk. No, for them they will have only 2 dairy animals, which give a total of 50 liters. And they will make millions of money in a year because everyone is coming to learn how to feed a dairy animal. So they have used a demo to package an extensible product. And then the other one is radio talk shows. Those of you who are in media, you will see that people pay to talk, or because in the middle of the talk show there is an advert. So that talk show which is helping people farm better is prioritized, and they will make many more adverts in there. And if you design a program with a certain media house in that sort, you can make a lot of money. Because it is just a partnership behind. I bring the value people listen to. You get the adverts to put in the interlude. We share the money. As simple as that. And then you become a billionaire by just packaging what to tell people every week on a certain media house. And then the other one, so that one doubles for also TV talk shows. Then we have now the extensionists. So when I am packaged the way I am, and I have all the information in me, and I'm giving advisory services, people call you and you can charge per hour, per day. These days I have simplified. People even meet me per hour and pay me for an hour. You don't have to pay for a whole day. Come talk to me, ask any question. I advise you on anything because I am a bank of agricultural information. I am a bank. I know it. I don't have to even tell you, let me check the textbook. No, it is in me. I'll tell you right away. So I have put my value up there that for you to meet me and ask me a question. In human medicine, they call it consultancy fee. Before they even tell you, go to the lab, I ask you, you swallow this medicine, you pay 20,000 or 50,000. Isn't it so? So whether you've bought anything from their clinic or not, you left money because you met a physician who is very annoying because he keeps asking you to tell them what is paining. Says, what do you really want to say to her? Why are you here? I said, the headache. Okay, the headache. From when did it start? So you are the one actually giving the guy the information. and you pay money. So in vet, because animals or the farm does not speak, I even have to be more expensive. Because I'm using a lot of intelligence to tell you what to do. And the other one is the brochures and other things you see in there. Most of these companies that are selling technology package their information in what we call exhibition materials or marketing material. Social media, Edie was mentioning about information that circulates on WhatsApp and other platforms. Today it is for free. A time is going to come when you can't access it for free. But now people are very generous. When they learn, they package and share. But this can turn into money. Songs, you can turn extensive knowledge into a song. And that song becomes a big money maker. Then the other one is newspapers. You've seen people who are paid to write certain articles in newspapers. The media people know that better. If you want to sell about how to make money in livestock, you have to look for the best expert in how to make money. And you don't just have to tell them, keep writing an article every week for free. Hapana. You have to pay that person to write the best articles. And then electronic materials, which you just search on Google. Influencers and ambassadors is another way you can really package yourself as an influencer of a certain technology. Because you know how to talk about it. I read, and then I come and package myself as your face for technology, and I will sell it. So those are some of the 16. Those are the 16 that were able to be teased out in the 16-hour time frame of analysis. Now, also, I just on demo, there are those demos which are government influenced, but currently there is a lot of self-made demos than government influenced. So that's why you see this other level. Now, what was then the challenge? Now that we know all those products, the question was, why aren't we enjoying these products in the country? How many of those that I mentioned are you familiar with, or are you consuming? That was a question. And after a lot of data, I want to give you just a summary of what it is. I hinted on it yesterday. See, every day, even now, if you searched, almost every minute there is new knowledge being released in the world about how you can farm better. But how many of those did you get in your day since morning? Do you have any you know? You don't know. But every day in the depository, if you are to use here technology to assess how many papers are being published with the new knowledge, you would find many. But our extension system is not picking it. Yesterday I showed you that after just using an example for technologies, when they were published in other parts of the world and when they came to Uganda, the average was about 59 years of delay. The question is, why that struggle? So, I think in that analysis, it came out very well that there is a mismatch between the users of this knowledge and the generators of the knowledge. The generator is very busy releasing new extensible knowledge, new technologies. But the one who is supposed to trade it and move that value to the final last mile user or consumer doesn't know where it is. Starting from the education system, where we use very old content, and sometimes structured in a way that the mode of assessment does not allow a person to give a new information. I taught in Makerere for about 7 years. And I realized that if you are to be a very good facilitator and examiner at the university, you don't have to have a marking guide. which is static. Because every student can surprise you with an answer. So I became a poor assessor at some point, judged by some of my colleagues that I didn't have a marking guide. But I mean, a student would urge you out with new technology and it is latest and it's telling you this is how they solve the problem. So you don't have to begin thinking because it is not what I taught, it's not correct. You just have to learn, qualify the answer, and score the man highly. And they pass. And when you do that, everyone will pass. No one will get a retake. Because everyone will urge out one answer, and it has a reason. When you get static on what you have in your PowerPoint and your notes, then people fail. And you local them in all the content. But anyway, it is something we are realizing now. So in those 2 days, we asked the team of 50 people to come up with proposals of what would be done to solve that problem. And it was mentioned in a number of statements and mentions which we analyzed and came up with this summary, which we call the Pool Intelligent System as a proposal. Now the Pool Intelligent System is asking you to go digital. There's nothing else that you have to do except to go digital. The Pool Intelligent System is leveraging on AI. I mean, you are here busy. You don't have time to keep picking what is new in the publication world. But if we design a system whereby that system is able to know what is the latest and scans it online, recovers it wherever they have published it from, whether which journal, brings it, then it simplifies it for you and says, this is a 5-page or 10 or 20-page paper, but the new knowledge in this is ABC. Then deposits it in its bank as a summary. And then you ask it, I want it in Uganda, it translates. I want it in Swahili, it translates. I want it in Rusoga, it translates. And shares with you. It's an intelligent system. That's what, in that way, I will shorten the time of access of the latest publication in minutes. Actually, seconds. That an extension part actor in Uganda will have no excuse except to say it is me who failed to get the best use of this. But I knew. And if you were a user, it can be even commanded to supply you with a summary, whether every hour or every 6 hours or every day, in your WhatsApp or email or whichever, such that you have no excuse to begin telling a farmer that now money can, the best technology to layer chicken is cage farming, which is 92 years. I mean, about 50 years old, and it is even phased out in Europe. For you, you are running with it as new technology in the world of Uganda, and you think it is the latest, simply because you delayed to know that it's there. So, when we get to that level, we will be able to amplify productivity. We will be able to also adopt at almost the same speed like that of the world. You will go to whichever country and fail to notice a difference between that country and you, because you are operating at the same level of knowledge for production. So, that is the summary of the findings. It is a few slides extracted from a number of pages, so I think you credit us for being good summary writers. I want to thank you for listening.